Are you about to purchase a property and you don't know how to go about it? You don't know what to do, you don't know the steps to follow. I'm here to tell you about what not to do when you're about to purchase a property. So when you're about to purchase a property, especially as a first time property owner or property buyer, you're very skeptical. You can be very skeptical if you don't have the necessary guidelines. You can be scared and not to make mistakes, and it's something to be scared of because money is involved. You don't want to waste your money. You don't want to make sure you don't want to be scammed. You don't want to be duped. So I'm here to tell you things not to do when you're about to purchase a property. So the first thing to note when you're about to purchase a property is that you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan. You have to have the plan of how you intend to pay for the property, if you're going with the instrumental payment or you're paying in full. And you have to be sure that when you're paying in full, you're getting the necessary documents as soon as possible. So some persons, they opt for the instrumental plan probably because they are not ready to pay the full money, while some, they have the money and then they pay at once. But you have to make sure that you have a plan of how you intend to pay. And if you're going for the instrumental payment, you have to be sure that within the range in which the company you're buying the property from, you are able to meet up with their instrumental plan. Because some persons, they have 6 months, 12 months, depending on the company. They have different plan of which you pay instrumentally. Because here at Eminence Global Property, we have an instrumental plan of which you can obtain a property. So one thing you should know is that you should always have a plan, and you also have to have a plan of what you want to use the property for. If you probably want to use it for apartment, or you want to rent it out, you have to have a plan of what you want to use the property you're getting for. It can also be for your personal use, like your own property, your own house, whatever you want to use the property for. You just have to make sure that it's a plan, it's part of your plan when you're purchasing a property. Another thing to know another error to avoid when purchasing a property is not being emotional. You have to avoid being emotional. I mean, do not purchase a property because someone is purchasing a property, or do not purchase a property because you like the person that's selling the property to you. You probably like the realtor, or you have to make sure you have an actual purpose. You really want to purchase this property, and you're not just doing it because someone else is doing it. Make sure that you are purchasing the property because you really want to purchase this property, and it's going to be to your own advantage. So try not to be sentimental when it comes to purchasing a property, because money is involved, except you're willing to let that money go. But even at that, you have to be very wise when you're purchasing a property, and try not to mix emotions when you're purchasing. Another mistake to avoid when purchasing property is not confirming the title of the property. So on our channel, we actually have different titles you need to know when about lands and properties. So you could check that out. We talked about all the necessary documents and all the necessary titles you need to know. So you have to be sure that for every property you are getting, it has the necessary title, so that you don't end up having to pay extra money for a particular property because the property doesn't have the necessary title it requires. So another mistake you shouldn't make when you're about to purchase a property is not getting a legal aid, like a lawyer. So your lawyer will actually help you to read the property documents, and to ensure that the right clauses and phrase are being used in the documents. Your lawyer will also help you, or your legal aid will help you to read and interpret all the necessary information in the property documents, and to make sure that you're not making any mistake, or you're not signing the wrong contract, or you're not being compromised, you're not, they're not making you do something that you shouldn't do, or something you regret in the future. So you need your legal aid or your lawyer to help you out when you're about to purchase a property, because he's going to help you to insert the right protection clause in the contract of sale. You don't purchase a property without a lawyer or your legal. For every property you are getting or you're about to purchase, be it a land, an apartment, whatever it is, you have to make sure that you have your legal aid with you. Another mistake people make, or an error people make before purchasing property, is not surveying your property. You need to survey your property. You need to check the nature, the size, the topography of the environment of the property you're about to get. You have to make sure to know if it's a wet land or a dry land. You have to make the necessary survey inspection before you purchase a property. You can go with a surveyor to survey the property, but you have to make sure that any property you are getting is going to be favorable for what you want to use the land for. Like I said, you have to have a plan. So by the time you survey the property, you analyze and check, okay, is this going to be favorable for what I want to use it for? Depending on what you want to use it for, you can you know, the property you might want to get might favor you if it's a dry land or a wet land. So that's the more reason why you have to go and survey the property to make sure that this land is favorable for what you intend to use the land for. Another mistake people make when purchasing property is pricing. You should try to compare prices with different properties around where you want to obtain a property or different locations to make sure that you are not being you're not overpaying for a particular property, or you're not being overpriced. You have to ensure that you are getting a particular property in which you want to purchase for a fair price. And one of the best times to actually purchase properties is like during pre-launch sales, because like currently we actually are selling different plots of land at Pleasure Gardens. We also have a sale currently going on at Eminence Homes. We also have another one at the Oshana Oniru. We also have another one at the Giovanna Estate. There are different properties available for you to get now while the prices are still fair, because these areas are currently developing very fast, and with time the properties might actually go on the high side. So this is like one of the best times to purchase properties while they are still on sale. Finally, one error you should avoid, or one mistake you should avoid when purchasing a property, is making sure that you do your research. You make your research, you do your necessary research of the owners of the properties you're about to purchase. You have to make sure they are like not fraudulent people. You have to make sure they are not scammers. So if you're getting properties from a real estate company, you have to make sure that they are registered and can be easily contacted. So with these few points of mine, I just hope that you make the necessary decision when you're about to purchase a property and you don't get into the wrong hands. Please, if this video was helpful to you, would like you to share to someone you think needs this video. If you have a friend, a family member that is about to purchase a property, you can send them this video so they know not to make these errors. So if you also enjoyed this video, please, would like you to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, comment. If you have any question, you can leave them in the comment section. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can follow us on our social media platform at Eminence Global Properties, and we will see you in our next video. Bye.